Today I'm going to be talking about the difference between mouth breathing and nose breathing, and the benefits of nose breathing, the negatives of mouth breathing, and how you can implement more nose breathing into your life. So I've been a big mouth breather most of my life, and I had heard about changing to being more nose breathing was beneficial through yoga, but I was never fully convinced until I read this book here by James Nestor, Breath. Absolutely amazing book, very well written. And he talks about the negative effects of mouth breathing, one being that it can change the shape of your face. Now, I think I have had a little bit of face changes, a bit longer and more narrower face change from more mouth breathing. But if we look over here at the harmful effects, you can see that there can be a poor definition of cheekbones, crooked teeth, narrower face, and then over the other side, it's possible setback jaw, smaller airways, crooked nose, tired eyes. This happens because when we use something, we grow it. You know, for example, if we use our muscles and we activate those, we help to grow our muscles. But if you have a cast and you're in a cast with your leg, and then you take off the cast about 6 weeks later, you see that your leg has got a lot skinnier and the muscles deteriorated because it hasn't been used. And so this is similar to breathing through the nose and breathing through the mouth. When we breathe through our nose, we help to keep the passageways open. When we don't breathe through our nose, the airways close up more. On the University of Otago website, we can see that mouth breathing can potentially cause cavities as well. And that's because when we're breathing with our mouth open, we have a lower acidity, and that lower acidity can cause more cavities in our mouth. And so let's look over here as well to the Buteyko Clinic and have a look at this picture here of a patient aged 10 and seeing how the shape of his face changes as he goes on. So that's very interesting. So there is negative consequences to mouth breathing, and there's very positive consequences to nose breathing. Now, the positive things that happen when we nose breathe, we reduce the exposure to foreign substances because our nose works as a filter, similar to how if we have a dirty pond and we filter that water to then drink it. It works similar in a way that we're filtering the air with our nose to then have cleaner air come into our lungs to then breathe. Also, we have about 50% more pressure when we breathe through our nose. And I want you just to try this very quickly. So breathe through your mouth. Now breathe through your nose. And you'll see the difference there is that there's a lot less pressure breathing through the mouth and more pressure breathing through the nose. So that helps to slow our breath down and can push us more into a parasympathetic nervous system state. So the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system are key to helping to relax our anxiety and key for our mental health. If we're more in our sympathetic nervous system, then we're going to be more in the fight or flight system to be able to run away from a tiger or run away from danger. But in a lot of cases throughout life, we don't need to be in that state. So one way to help get more into that parasympathetic nervous system is just to breathe more through the nose. That will slow down our breath more and help us to be in a calmer, more peaceful state. Also, an increase in oxygen uptake. So this is very interesting from the book here, amazing. We have about 6-fold more increase of nitric oxide. Why is nitric oxide important? Nitric oxide is important because it helps to open up our circulatory system so the blood can flow through better. And even now, you know, I'm still trying to make sure I'm breathing through my nose. So I'm a work in progress. We've got about over 100,000 kilometers of circulatory system, and that would wrap around the earth over 2 times if we wrap that around the earth, which is absolutely amazing. So having more of a circulatory system that is opening up those veins to help the blood flow through better is very beneficial to transport oxygen to other parts of the body, transport waste out. And the nitric oxide, funnily enough, interestingly enough, is the Viagra pill helps to increase our nitric oxide in our body to have more blood flow go to a certain area of the body, and I think you know what that area is. It's absolutely amazing nose breathing. It can help to lower cavity risk, shape your face better as well. How do we go from, if we're more of a mouth breather, to breathing more through our nose? Well, some of the ways that I've been trying is just to mentally remind myself, okay, I'm breathing more through my mouth. Okay, I want to breathe more through my nose, just closing the mouth. It's like when we were younger, and I know back in New Zealand it would be called you're catching flies if you have your mouth open, you know? And it'll be like you're just sitting there studying and you'd be catching flies. And I probably got told that I was catching flies a few times. And so how do we do it? We close the mouth and just breathe more through the nose. Also at night, now when I first heard this, I thought it was weird, but we can put tape over our mouth, and that's what I've been doing most nights. Is putting a little bit of tape over my mouth, and I'll just demonstrate. And so I've got a little bit of tape here, and what I basically do is unwind that and just put it in the center of the mouth. And so you can also still breathe on the sides, just like this. And so at night, that just helps to keep the mouth closed a little bit more, to then breathe more through the nose. And the first time I tried this, it was uncomfortable. I could only last maybe about 15 minutes, and I wanted to take it off. And then I could last a little bit longer, and a little bit longer, and a bit longer. And then I'd be waking up in the night and I'd think, no, I'm gonna take it off. Until finally I could last the whole night with that tape on, to then be able to breathe more through my nose. So it's something when you're sleeping, you might as well be optimizing your breath so you don't have to think about it as much. So it is something very beneficial to train. All you have to do is just put a little bit of tape over your mouth, and voila, away you go. Another very good way that I've been doing as well is having a breathing practice in the morning. And so just lying down in the morning, doing 10 minutes of breathing, focusing on deep breaths and breathing in through my nose. So it's a good consistent way to set up the day in the morning. Just lie down, I put on some music that I'll link in. I do 5.5 breaths in, 5.5 breaths out, because that's the optimal amount of breathing. 5.5 in, 5.5 out for 5.5 liters of air, 5.5 breaths per minute, approximately. Amazing. There's a lot of 5.5s in there. What does it all mean? I don't know exactly, but I like it. Okay? And so we're breathing in, 5.5 in, 5.5 out, 10 minutes lying down, having a breathing practice in the morning. So those are a few ways to just remember to breathe more through the nose, have a breathing practice, 5-10 minutes in the morning, and then third way is to put a little bit of tape over your mouth at night. And then you can help to optimize your breathing to breathe more in through the nose and less through the mouth. Thanks everybody for watching. If you liked this content, please click the like button and also hit subscribe. That'd be amazing to help me get these videos out to more people and help improve people's mental health. Also, I'd be interested to know, are you a nose breather? Are you a mouth breather? Has it changed the shape of your face? And are you trying to implement more nose breathing? How's it going? I'd love to know, and I'll reply to every single comment.